Alright guys, welcome to another stream. Pretty late night again this time. And yeah, I've been doing a pretty short DayZ stream today around lunchtime. And I enjoyed it so much that I decided to continue it tonight. So I hope that you guys who are following me for U-Boat are not too much disappointed. Yeah, but I mean, maybe use the opportunity to take a look at that beautiful game DayZ, which actually is my other old love. I haven't streamed a lot of DayZ. Actually, DayZ was for one or almost more than a year. It was the only game that I was streaming at all. And then I slowly switched more to U-Boat. So let's give DayZ some emphasis again. So I am playing on let me specify it, on the 0 DayZ server DRL. Yeah, I'm not that much afraid of stream snipers. I'm not important enough that anybody might get high from get Swiss vanilla ice cream floating from stream sniping me. So I wouldn't make a big secret out of that. So I also would like to use this to advertise for this server. So it's one of the 0 DayZ servers, and particularly the Deer Isle. And yeah, I really love Deer Isle, the map itself. And I haven't been playing the 0 server for a while, but looks like it's pretty nice. Now let's check. Alright, my shoes are wet because I went through this river to check these kind of hikers places over there. And well, actually the pity is that when I vlogged out at around lunchtime today, I mean in real life, I had a bike here. Okay, I can't get the belt because I already do have a leather holster on my belt, what you see there, and that's pretty useful, so I would just keep it. And yeah, I had a bike, and that was pretty good to have. Yeah, come on, so we have to carry on foot. Yeah, I really wonder whether I should maybe get to the other side here and head further north. But let's first check. There are a few buildings over there, and I would like to check them. But let's keep in mind that obviously here we can get to the other side without getting wet feet. Yeah, we will have to check that. So, yeah, looks like the streaming figures should be alright, but yeah, I'm always thankful if you give me some feedback about anything that might be going wrong or not perfect in the stream. Sometimes I just don't recognize it by myself as a streamer. I do have quite some food and drink with me. Yeah, I have this scope, although I can't put it onto my hunting rifle. That was a bit of a disappointment to recognize that my hunting rifle doesn't even have a mounting interface for a scope. So let's check these buildings. And then go further north. What I really need is a bottle to put water in. So let me see, what is my equipment? I even have chlorine tablets, so if the rags are disinfected, pretty good stuff that I have with me. I even found a night vision binoculars. I haven't had night vision in this game since, I could say, 2 years or something. The good thing is, having the chlorine tablets, if now I had a water container, I could fill it with just any water, put in the chlorine tablets, and it would disinfect my stuff. Jeans. Let's have the crackers. Food is always welcome. Although this obviously just gives us nutrition and no hydration, which is, well, I think it's clear why. Yeah, with the vest, I have quite some carrying capacity, although I only have this small leather duffel bag, but pretty much like it because it's reducing my visibility so much in comparison to any other backpack. And the nice thing about this server is that you have 2 layers, so you can wear a shirt and a parka and make use of both of their inventory slots. So let's eat a bit of my stuff so that I get some more inventory slots free and have less to carry. I could carry it just as well within my stomach. 1. And the pajika, whatever that is, never heard of that before, I have to admit. The server is relatively crowded. It is something like 60 people out of 80. So quite some risk to run into other players, but I like that. I usually don't like to play on empty servers. I just do it now and then because there are a few servers which have a wonderful mod loadout but are relatively low frequented, and that's like the Wildlands server. I love them and I wonder why there are just so few people actually playing on it. It's a great server with great mods. Vanilla-like actually, but it's usually relatively lowly frequented, so few people on it. But this one here, the DayZ, there is always plenty of people. I would say this is one of the European servers. We have a sporter with a few rounds in it. Why not pick it up for now? Hey guys, nice to have you in the stream. Good evening. How are you doing? I hope you are fine. Okay. these places. Let's see if we are lucky. We do find something. Nope. Hey, I think there was some place where we could cross without getting wet feet, could we? Yep. So let's check these places. We might be lucky and find something. Nah, not here. Let's get up that hill to get some better overview. By the way, it's early morning, it's 7 o'clock. So this is probably east and the sun is just about to rise above that ridge. And yeah, isn't that beautiful? So this is one of these scenes what I love the game for. The countryside, nature, particularly playing on the autumn maps. I love that. See how the autumn colors of the trees actually shine in the sun. Yeah, well, let's have Zagorski bar. I think this one will give no hydration. Oh. I thought that on one of these hills there is actually some kind of secret entrance to an underground base around here. At least it was in the past. I've been there a long time ago. Maybe it was over there. Okay, so zombies around here in the middle of nowhere. That might indicate that there is actually something around. Okay, another one. So take this and that. There is more coming. Fuck. And I hear more zombie sounds. I think I got hit a bit. Gunshot. So why would you have zombies up here? It's in the middle of nowhere. It's just in the fucking middle of nowhere. So, any hidden entrance to something? It's pretty eerie to run into zombies around here, I would say. And one more. What the fuck? One, two. Why? Why are there zombies all over the place? Just can't figure out. There is another one. What do they do around here? Yeah, come. Come for me, guy. Oh, shit. One, two, three. Any damages from my gear? Well, looks alright on the first glimpse. Yeah, let's carry on. Let's see if there is any hidden something around here. Now this becomes pretty overgrown. Okay, I wasn't aware that there was this settlement so close. I've been passing by that one. More Zeds around. Well, let's get further up the hill and check. I am cold, so it seems to be like that. It's pretty cold around here in the morning, while it gets warmer over the day. So my clothing is pretty good. It should give me quite some protection from cold, but still I do have the blue bar. So maybe I should get a vitamin pill just to make sure that I don't get the cold. Yeah, I do have a map with me. The sun is there. This should be roughly north. Let's get... Hey, there is even more. What is this? Why do you have zombies around here all over the place? I think there is an underground base underneath, but I just don't figure out where it is, where the entrance is. Yeah, that's pretty eerie to have all these zombies spawning here in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. If you know the game a bit, you know that zombies usually just spawn around buildings, settlements, and not in the middle of the woods. So that's pretty weird. Yeah, guys, some of you might have expected me to stream U-Boat tonight, so I hope you're not too disappointed. But I know that there are others which pretty much like these game here, DayZ. So yeah, always give me feedback, so don't hesitate. Openly also give me negative feedback if you want to. If you are kind of disappointed and want to have me doing another game, just put it in, or positive feedback is also always welcome. If you like what you see, if you'd like me to do more DayZ. But let's get under that tree to have a little bit of a cover, and then get the map and take a look. Yeah, we have the comfort of having an in-game map. And there it is. So you can't pretty well see it, but there is, you see Warren Cove, Cushville, and north of Cushville there is Warren Cove. We're actually between Cushville and Sunset Cross. And there at Warren Cove there is a fjord stretching far into the land to the west, and that's where I actually am, somewhere north of the western end of that fjord. So not quite sure, maybe I'm looking down at Warren Cove. That's it probably. I have no idea what these signs mean. Military areas. What is this? Crash sign, water source. Known water source locations. That's an important info. Nice. In Warren Cove and in Sunset Cross there would be water source, and, which is pretty weird, pretty much in the middle of nowhere, it is said to have a water source. Maybe I'm gonna try to get there. You see that blue triangle in the middle of nowhere? I can't point it with the mouse actually. Hunting camp, supply convoys, police checkpoint, train wreck, okay. Yeah, okay, alright. This gives us a first impression. Alright, here we are. And yeah, okay, that's north. So if I go down, I should run into a road. Yeah, I don't know what the red circles actually mean on the map. Yeah, but getting down there, if I am roughly where I think I should run into a road down there. Hey, is there more zombies? Hey, come on. How is this that you run into zombies here? All over the place in the middle of nowhere. I get to that road and then follow it to the left. More zombies. That's so weird. To have all these zombies around in the middle of nowhere. So according to the map, I should run into a well if I follow this trail further. Yeah, I do have a GPS receiver, but I don't have a battery. And also for the night vision binoculars I would need a battery. Well, I didn't try whether I could use them at day without a battery. Let's see what we get using it. Okay, can't see anything. Without a battery, obviously, that was to be expected. Never had that before. I think this particular night vision binocular is some special thing on this server here. It's a mod. Pretty sure that it is not vanilla. According to the map, this road should do a bend, should take a bend to the right somewhere ahead. And then run into a well in the middle of nowhere, which is pretty unusual. Usually you only have wells, yeah, in populated areas, but everything is looking fine. A compass tells me that I am going west. That's what I expected. So let's see. Not quite sure whether I am where I am. If I am where I think that I am, I should sooner or later run into a T-crossing with some road going to the left. Yeah. Let's stay up the slope so that we have some good overview, maybe. Yep. And stay away from the road. That's some very old DayZ road. Don't walk right on roads. Okay, there is a house. Yeah, it's still morning on the map. I entered the map when it was in-game, something like 7 o'clock. And the map has a time acceleration factor of 3, which is what they usually have. I prefer 2, but 3 is okay. Just don't play on servers with more than 3. Time acceleration more than 3. I don't really do. That feels, yeah, too unrealistic to my taste. There is a zombie there on the road. And there we get a potato. Alright. And some forestry division bushland. Wow. It has better insulation. Our question is whether I would like to have that one. Looks pretty cool. Okay, for whatever reason I can't put it on. Okay, that looks a bit buggy. It's cool, but if I can't layer it, I prefer to do it like that and stick to the Parker as a second layer. Okay, so, well, this layered system thingy doesn't work 100%, but yeah, however. More zombies. Yeah, okay, I think I have to go a little bit further to finally reach the well. Yeah, let's get a little bit north of the road, up the hill, for a better overview. I hear a zombie again. Ah, come on. Again, here in the middle of nowhere. 1, 2. That's so weird. If you consider that usually the zombies spawn only close to buildings, is another one. So many of them. And one down there as well. Okay, that's the crossing. So now following the way a little bit further, and I should end up at the well. Oh, come on, that looks like work in progress, right? That pretty much looks like work in progress. I have a few of these sites. Ah. So. Let's check that place. Okay. A Mosin damaged. With the scope. Do I have rounds for the Mosin? There's 2 rounds in it, but I don't think. Don't have the proper Mosin rounds. Ah, come on, and it's damaged, so. I wouldn't. Just 2 rounds. Oh, nice, something to eat. But yeah, the hip pack, I don't have space for it because I already have the belt around my hip. Now keep our eyes open. There must be a well around here. Pretty sure that the well must be around here. That one we saw on the map. Yeah, the hunky pants are good pants, but they are damaged. So for now, I wouldn't take them. And I don't have any repair kit. So let's just check that the well is not hidden behind these booths. And another pants. This one's badly damaged, but we have a road flare. This might save your life when you need to start a fire when everything is raining and wet. Hey, Paul. Ah, great. Nice to have you in. Good evening. How are you doing? So I was a little bit afraid that now, well, this is actually my prime time, and I was afraid that I might piss off a few people who want me to stream U-Boat, and now doing this one here. But I just started this a little bit on this map here yesterday during the day and today, and I've so much liked the run I just had to continue it. Okay, so so you went out yesterday and have to recover a bit. That's at least what I understand. Or both nights, yesterday and tonight. So there must be some well around. I really want to make sure that I get something to drink before I get further to the north. Ah, there it is. Can't open this one. So let's head straight for the well. Yeah, okay, alright, now I understand what you mean. So, I hope you had the opportunity to sleep long. So maybe you are fit again by now. Having recovered. Yeah, alright. Yeah. So I'm playing on Zero. On the Zero DayZ server. And I haven't been playing. Yeah, you know that I haven't been playing DayZ a lot generally lately. But also particularly haven't been playing on this one here. On the Zero server, although I used to play a lot on that one. And yeah, there are quite some changes in the game mechanics. For example, I can layer now. There we are. Yep. I can layer a shirt with a jacket, something like that. Quite like it. So if you can layer a shirt underneath your jacket, you can finally utilize both their inventory slots, actually. Okay, so have you been doing sports as well? Or partying, been in a club? So muscle sores from dancing, maybe? Yeah, hey, see, the duffel bag is definitely better, isn't it? So, let's leave this one behind. And get in and check the hunter's cottage. Screwdriver. Well, no, don't need that one. I do have quite a few cutting tools, that's just fine. Yeah, okay, so sounds like a nice little pub crawl, actually. Okay, before carrying on, let's top off our USG. And this is just lying here in the meadow. So somebody must have dropped it. no ammo. It's not of much use actually. But interesting that it's just lying around there. Okay, nice. So now there are a few people in the stream. That's nice to see. Thanks, guys, for joining. Pleasure to have you in. Okay, there we are, stomach full. And yeah, I want to go north, which should be roughly there. It is morning still. I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock, I guess. So the sun, yeah, this should be east roughly. So I might want to get up to that hill to get some overview, or I might just like to have an eye onto the map. Let's get into the woods, and when we are a little bit out of sight, get out the map. So what's the orange supply, possible area of supply convoys? So maybe I would follow that way and see if there is a supply convoy. What's the red cross crash site? The red triangle and the green circle is possible area of a hunting camp. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember what that probably is. So, question is, would I like to get up there and check that? Well, why not? Should be a bit more northerly than east. Let's get up there and see if we find something. According to the map, there might be something to be found. Up there, let's see. Yeah, this USG submachine gun pretty much looked like an MP5. Is it kind of a copy paste rebuild? 2, 3. And another guy there. Never anything to loot on them. 2, 3. He's got a burlap sack. Does the burlap sack have more carrying capacity than the duffel bag? 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I think it is. Okay. It's a bit more carrying capacity, actually. So, my old long-time favorite, the burlap courier bag. Very nice. It starts to get cold around here. That kind of scared me. So there is kind of a plateau up here. Wonder if I could spot something. But that's a nice view up here. Yeah, beautiful, isn't it? Look at that. What a beautiful view. Which direction am I looking right now? This is east. This is north, alright. So I think I would rather go north now. And there is another zombie up there, let's ignore it. Yeah, the probability of finding some useful loot with them is rather low. Okay. And I hear a second zombie. 1, 2. Ah, fuck. At least I got some matches. Good to have some matches and some more chlorine tablets. That's also valuable. Only thing now is that I would love to have a water container. And if it only would have been a pot. A bit much in the open around here. Let's carry on. I'm even going westward now, but that's fine. Yeah, you really have to be always ready for some zombies, obviously. That's pretty interesting that you have all these zombies spawning around here in the middle of nowhere with no buildings around. Yeah, this is actually a Europe-based server that I'm playing on, so I would expect that maybe the population would more go down by now. Problem is I have to be AFK for 60 seconds, and with these zombies looning around everywhere, that is a bit risky, but it can't be helped, so I'll be back in a minute. Alright. Very good. We are still alive. And you're still in the stream, so thanks for the patience. And let's carry on. Yeah, following that road northward, which is perfectly fine. And let's see if we run into that truck convoy, which might spawn up there. Yeah, it would be so great if we found a weapon repair kit. That's actually my problem at the moment. I do have the P1, which is a nice handgun, but it's damaged, and I have this tiny little submachine gun, which is also pretty good. But okay, that's the nuclear plant, isn't it? Following that road, according to the map, there might be the possibility that I find a kind of a truck convoy. This is something that I'm not familiar with yet, so that was introduced, I think, when I was... Yeah, I haven't been playing the game for a while, and there is this kind of... Okay. Let's take a look at the map again. So, yeah, now I'm crossing underneath this railway track. Yeah, nice place here, I would say. I never like to run on boulders because it wears off my shoes, and talking of that, they are already badly damaged by now. So here I am. What's the blue? Possible area of police checkpoint. Oh, okay. Server restart. But that's alright. Just have to wait 2 or 3 minutes, and then we are gonna go back onto the server. It's only 10 o'clock on the server. So still morning, and yeah, the server is restarting. Around here in real life, it's 1 o'clock. And yeah, I don't know. That server might be situated maybe around London, or maybe also even around Frankfurt, somewhere here. It's a European server, actually. And yeah, earlier in the evening I watched Lottie playing on Deer Island. I think it's pretty high probability that she actually was playing on this server. There are so many people playing on Namalsk lately, and I just can't get friends with the Namalsk map. I pretty much understand why people like the challenge, but yeah, I don't quite like the Namalsk map, I have to admit. Now let's see. Is the server going back online? I think it is. Yeah, so let's give it a try and get back onto the server. Yeah, we are in the queue, but that's just because it takes some time to get the people on the server. The server is not overcrowded. I think it's still just something like 60 people on the server. Oh no, I don't need cheap viewers. I have very valuable viewers, so no need for cheap ones. Thank you very much. Yeah, these bots are really a pain in the ass. I think they have some kind of search pattern. When I have something like more than 10 people in the stream, they never turn up. I think they only turn up when you have just a few, like right now. So guys, please stay in the stream to help me, yeah, to protect me from these bots about the cheap viewers. What do we have there? Let's check it. A few buildings. Okay, yes, I destroyed a Russian tank. Okay. Yeah, there is this river. Okay, nothing here. Is there? No, nothing. That's a bit unusual that there is nothing spawning on these sites. There is a zombie and a few buildings over there, so let's get to the other side. Get on up to the other side. Hey guys, just see the number of people going up in the stream. Nice to have you in. So don't feel observed. You're completely anonymous and that's fine. But of course, I always love to get some feedback in the chat. Or follow if you like what you see. Just, yeah, curious about what's your relation to the game. Are you a long-term player like me? Or just new to it? Or just watching, maybe? Yeah, as for me, I'm playing the game since, 10 years by now. I just by chance watched back then videos of people playing the mod. Hey, yes. Load on 1, load on 2, load on 3, load on 4, load on 500 miles away from home or something like that. Yeah, good evening, Holiday Punch. Great to have you in. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. So, it's Deer Isle, and Deer Isle is just wonderful. Okay, that is a bit buggy, one has to admit. And there is a few rounds. Yeah, I don't have a shotgun, but if I found one, I would probably keep it. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, no, they are slugs. The red ones are the buckshots. A floating car, yeah. There is a zombie, which luckily didn't yet spot me. Rounds, okay. Armor piercing 9x39. Whatever gun this might be good for. Is there something like mini sights? Nah, that might be interesting. Probably I don't. Maybe I could put it onto that gun. Gonna check that later. Hey, Mr. Policeman. Excuse me, Mr. Officer. Just throw it. Yep. Ah, there is a gun lying at the floor. Maybe it's a shotgun. Let's see. What is this? Okay, BK-18. That's the gun that I already have with me. But let's see if we can get some rounds. Nope. There is some ammo on the other seat, right? Okay. Well, let's pick that up for now. And this one. Okay, that's for an assault rifle, actually. Would be great if I had one. All right. Well, not too bad. Okay, you had a funny ad. yeah, well, coming close it was clear that it wasn't a shotgun, but from afar I was, yeah, maybe more wishful thinking that it was a shotgun. Yeah, so Holiday Punch, how was your day? Hope you had a good Saturday. And a good week. But now let's briefly check out. Start to carry too much stuff around with me. Yeah, I wanted to. No, okay. No possibility to put that many sights onto that gun. And I'm pretty sure that I also can't put it onto the P1. Yeah, only could put a suppressor onto the P1. And yeah, I can't repeat it often enough. It would be so great if I found a weapon repair kit. I have these two guns which urgently need a bit of a repair. To be more confident about them not being jammed in a critical situation. So, some more people in the stream. Welcome, welcome guys. Nice to have you in. Just watch anonymously, that's perfectly fine. But, of course, I'm always happy to get some feedback. No, I don't need that one. Balaclava that I have is perfectly fine. Let's check this place. Yeah, I do have this submachine gun, but the problem is that it is damaged and would pretty much jam, most probably jam when I would start letting it spit onto an enemy. I wouldn't really like to bet my life on it. Working gloves, padded gloves, best insulation, low. Well, so why change? Let's stick to these padded gloves. Nothing up here. Hey, Okay, so you were dragged into ads, I understand. So I was just wondering how you are and how your weekend was up to now. So I hope you had a good Saturday holiday punch. Shall we get over there? All this walking, and usually you don't find any useful stuff in these, but let's get there and check it. Okay, yeah, okay. Around here it is really getting cold. Yeah, you might remember that I'm living in the Frankfurt area, and one wrench. What about the wrench that I have? And there it is. It's pristine still, so no reason to shift it. Yeah, around here in the Frankfurt area it got pretty cold the last days, particularly this morning. So my wife usually works pretty early on Saturdays, and she told me that when she went out at something like 7 o'clock in the morning, it was -6 degrees Celsius, which is pretty cold for this area here. It's, yeah, in principle it's not that cold for winter, but in this area here we don't get too much cold. Yeah, that's why. It's relatively mild climate around here, that's why people grow wine in this area. Nothing. Okay. Pristine chest holder. The hunter vest is much better. So you did have snow? Yeah, around here we usually never have. It's just like, so maybe during winter there may be 1 or 2 days when you have some snow, but it melts away quickly. So snow is not pretty common around here where I live. So many zombies looning around in the middle of nowhere. Pretty fascinating. So let's get up that hill there so we get some nice overview all over the place. Yeah, I'm a bit to the hinterland, and I can afford it. I have quite some stuff with me. Food, a bit of drink as well. Drink would probably be more critical soon, because I only have this can of beer with me. Again. Yeah, come on. Hey, I hate buggy zombies. They are so very, like, unpredictable. That's it. Yeah, I never was used to much snow actually. Where I grew up, it's north of here, and also almost no snow all over the winter. Well, actually I spent something like 5 years of my life in southern Germany, pretty close to the Alps, and there we kind of got used to snow. Beautiful, isn't it? Great view that we have from up here. Yeah, we were living in close to the Alps for a while, something like 5 years, and yeah, from there we actually moved to Berlin. In Berlin, you actually have more snow than we have around here in the Frankfurt area. Berlin gets pretty cold. Yeah, it's a Derringer, yeah. The nice thing about the Derringer is that if you take it to your hand, nobody would actually recognize that you have a gun in your hand. So you would still seem friendly, and just in case you would have the Derringer. And yeah, I already mentioned it in the morning stream. The Derringer always reminds me of that movie Django Unchained, where King Schulz, that German bounty hunter, always had this mechanism in his sleeves with the Derringer to pop up. And then there is this enormous scene when he is confronted, that shootout with the slave trader Brad Pitt. Not in the evening. In the morning, or well, at lunchtime, I had a 1.5 hour stream, and there I ran into a guy in one of these castles, and yeah, he actually started to punch me, attack me, and I tried to keep calm and talk to him, and talked it out of him actually. I had these guns, I could have shot him, but I didn't, and so it turned out that he just panicked. He was, in principle, a nice guy. There we see our shadow down there. That looks a bit eerie, does it? So where are we by now? Are we still heading north? I think we are, right? Yep. So this is something that I always find weird. I mean, in the apocalypse, and it's pretty clear from all the overgrowth and how everything is modeled that the apocalypse started already a few years ago, and that there is still smoke. No, not smoke, but steam coming out of the cooling towers of the nuclear plant. That's a bit weird. So that would imply that there are still people there running the plant. And when you go there, it's just as deserted as any other place. Yeah, it's a nice graphical feature, but if I were Mr. John McClane, I would have made it without smoke. Yeah, but that's just nitpicking. The map is great. The map is so great. By the way, talking about the great map, please excuse me for 1 minute to be AFK. Be back in 60 seconds. Alright, back again. So on my lunchtime stream with exactly this live, I found a bicycle. I haven't been going by bicycle for years on DayZ, and that was great. So that really brought me forward to the north. And would be nice to find a bicycle again. Yeah, right. But yeah, to really have a fully grown wood, that would be something like 50 years, yeah. But this overgrown growth starts pretty quickly, I think. Yes, I think if nobody would take care of the nuclear plant, it would. I don't know what kind of security measures they would have, but probably they would have some kind of automatisms so that it would just automatically run down, just in case if nobody was caring for it anymore. Yeah, that's all industry. And my experience is that industrial loot is pretty bad, so I wouldn't go there. Let's circumwalk the power plant and see that we are gonna loot the civilian areas over there. Yeah, it wouldn't run forever. I think it would just stop. Like when a problem occurs, it usually would automatically put these kind of carbon rods into the reactor, and that would stop it from running on. This is exactly what failed in Fukushima and didn't work there. Hey, this is so beautiful. Mr. John McLean did such an amazing job with this map. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in Germany we still have this discussion, maybe in other countries just as well, about how to store away the nuclear waste permanently. And yeah, so I always find this a little bit funny. If you think how short-lived actually the political discussions are, everybody's just about getting to the next getting the next vote for him, and then suddenly these guys have to decide upon things which are about thousands of years of relevance. Oh, okay. there really seems to be some mechanism on this map that you, in principle, have zombies spawning all over the place. That's completely different to any other concept that we had before on vanilla and other maps. The nuclear plant is there. There is a zombie, one more, and another one there. One, two, and usually no loot, so it's pretty low probability that you get some decent loot with them. But at least once I got the burlap courier back. And yeah, remember, I could even upgrade it. Yeah, come on. Completely forgot that. Let's upgrade it towards... Yeah, gather a long stick. Can upgrade it to an improvised backpack. Having even more. Carrying capacity. That's worthwhile to do. Here we have the stick. Let's separate it. Yeah. That's what would happen actually. The zombies wouldn't just stay in the towns. Yeah. Ah, my shoes. Sooner or later I really need something to patch up my shoes. Yeah, like in The Walking Dead, yeah. I have to remove the stuff from the backpack. Let's just hope that we don't get surprised by a zombie. And now combine and craft a burlap backpack. Yeah, I never went completely through all the seasons. The last season that I went to was, well, you remember that guy with the spiked baseball bat, having all the nails in the baseball bat. What was the name of that guy? And at one point they finally managed to kill that guy, or yeah, to be victorious about him. And yeah, this fight that they had back there, yeah, Negan, yeah, exactly, that guy. So that was actually the last series that I watched, the last season that I watched, when they actually were victorious about that guy. Yeah, I never watched that spin-off with Daryl, but pretty much like that guy, so I could well imagine to watch it once in a while. But yeah, this, like when they actually managed to be victorious against Negan, I didn't quite like that one. So that was so weird. how they all went into his place by car, and none of his guards actually did recognize it. That was kind of weird. That was pretty weird, and that was actually the point where I stopped watching. Although I pretty much loved the atmosphere of that series all the time. Yeah, maybe we should first have the potato. You always have to peel the potato, which is a bit weird. Yeah, as I used to say, peeling the potato in a survival situation is weird. So you can't eat it unpeeled. Yeah, the peel is very nutritious actually. So it would be more logical if you couldn't eat it unboiled. So I think it is still something like that potatoes contain some poisonous stuff or unhealthy stuff, and that only, yeah, gets kind of absorbed when you cook it. So if you would have it most real, with the highest realism level, you would more have something like not having to peel it, but having to cook it before eating. Gunshots. That was gunshots somewhere. Yeah, we should still be aware of zombies spawning randomly. Let's circumwalk the nuclear plant and see that we get to the civilian town around and do a little bit of loot with that. Hi guys, by the way, I see the number of people watching going up again. So it is a pleasure to have you in. And yeah, just great to see you. You're completely anonymous, by the way, and don't know who you are. And that's fine. So just watch anonymously. But as I used to emphasize, I'm always happy to get some comments. So to make a happy streamer even a bit more happy, just put a comment into the chat, say hi, tell me where you're from, what your relation to the game is, are you experienced or new, and yeah, or maybe even give me a follow, but don't feel pushed. It's just perfectly fine if you just watch and lurk silently. Always glad to have people in the stream. There should still be plenty of people on the server. Yeah, there are. The server is still something like half full. Maybe we should go there. To that little town. And do a little bit of looting there. And there is still stuff that I need. I'm well equipped actually, but sooner or later I need some drink again. And it would be great if I had a weapon repair kit to repair my P1 and my submachine gun, which are both damaged, and a leather repair kit for my shoes. And that's really an issue. You do so much walking on DayZ that it really matters getting your shoes worn off. Yeah, it gives me a bit of hydration and a bit more of nutrition. Let's eat until our stomach is full. Yeah, don't overeat your stomach or you will start vomiting and all that you ate will be lost. Yeah, it would be nice if I found a bicycle again. So that brought me pretty quickly north. Having a bicycle is great. So, still, yeah, well, on the bicycle you're pretty prone to sniper attacks, but at least the bicycle doesn't make that much noise. That's why I never grew comfortable going by car in DayZ, because you make all that noise, attracting a lot of attention, being completely unprotected against attacks. I mean, being shot at. Oh, nice, some sardines. And another zombie down there. But with the bike, at least you are silent. And I remember riding a bike quite some years ago, but they really improved the mechanism. It really felt nice, really felt kind of realistic, and you could also fall off the bike if you run into something. So meanwhile, that's nicely implemented. At least on this modded server here. So, Quintongil, are you still in? Just saw your comment. My problem is that I am pretty much focused on the chat on Twitch, and you have to excuse me that I'm not that much looking into the chat on Twitch. Yeah, on YouTube actually. So I just now saw your comment. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that feedback. So you are one of the guys who were actually expecting me to do U-boat tonight. But yeah, so I had so much fun today and yesterday on this server here on DayZ that I spontaneously decided to do another DayZ, a long DayZ run tonight. And yeah, I think DayZ and U-boat, they're pretty closely related. U-boat being a survival game in a way just as well. Oh shit, there was some lag. So, okay, the hunting vest got damaged by that. So he hit me actually. Yeah, I think the bike is fine. It doesn't use any fuel, any resources. You're right. The ultimate mode of transport. I agree. Interesting. I think I've never been to this place before. But yeah, now that I deeply dive into DRL again, I also sometimes run into places where I'm pretty sure that Miss John McLean has been working on it and adding things. Sandy Bay, okay. Keep that in mind. This is Sandy Bay. Maybe I should first go for... This is the police station. Yep, let's first go for the police station. Zombie there. Yeah, that's so overgrown. I love it. Look at that. How it looks like. Anna, yeah, okay. Is this the hospital? Well, could check that later. No, it's not. It is, isn't it? Never sure about that. Another handgun scope. Nah, I don't need a scope for a handgun. But, well, pick it up and check it later whether it makes sense or not. All the doors being open, that's kind of suspicious. That the place might have been looted, so let's be careful. Close these doors so that I hear if somebody enters the place. Grenade. Any place to put the grenade? Smoke grenade. Well, why not? Picking it up. At one point it might save your ass if you remember that you have it. That's sometimes the problem, that you're carrying around this stuff, and in the right moment you just don't remember that you have it and that you could use it. Nothing here, so let's get upstairs. I think I hear a zombie out there. Ah, come on, no, nothing. Would have been nice to find a pump gun here or something. Okay, battery, that's good. That's a good thing. Now, question is what to use the battery for. Maybe I would just save it for now. By the way, let's have a bit of food again. The transceiver of the GPS, and finally let's see, I'm very curious what this would be like switch mode. Okay, it's a bit weird that you could actually use it at daylight. Should be kind of overloading. What's the mode? Different mode actually. Ah, okay, so now I'm really in the night mode, I would say. But for both modes, obviously, you need the batteries. Do I really need 2 ropes? Nope. Let's drop 1. Handgun scope. I really don't know if that's necessary, but well, you could still use it as binoculars. The Ilmac. Let's get the rounds. That's the rounds that I need for my submachine gun. Let's get them. And drop the mag. There they are. Okay, they are badly damaged just as well. But better than nothing. Let's keep them for now. By the way, do I have a can opener? Yeah, I have. So let's open that can and start to eat the sardines or whatever it is. Is it tuna? Oh, sardines. Let's eat them. Not too much in there, not too much nutrition to get. Yeah, the mag for the sporter gun. Nah, don't need that one just as well. Mags. The P1 mag. Yeah, that's quite alright. To go like that. And let's have the dog food until we are full. On we go. Rounds. Okay, that would be the ammo for the Mosin, which I didn't take, but yeah, it was not in the best condition. So I still think that it was a good decision not to take it. Do I get any eyes on? that zombie, which I think I am listening to. Shall I get onto the rooftop? I don't know. Shall I check this building? It's the hospital. Yeah, I should check it. Get upstairs quickly. And check whether there is something on the rooftop. I think these buildings are like apartment buildings. It's not worthwhile to check much of them. Let's go for the hospital. There is a zombie. Yeah, calm guy. And eat. 1, 2. Okay. Kinda climb it. I'm really running short on. Let's get up there and start it from the top. Okay, once more. Be back in a minute. Gonna get me another drink. Let's hope that we are safe at that position. Back again. Very good. We are still alive. Yeah, there is still the risk that we run into guys around here. And so far in the north, every contact would be pretty nervous actually. By the way, what I could actually check is there must be some well around. We can check it on the map. Let's estimate where we are. Sandy Bay. But looks like there is no well in Sandy Bay. We would have to get further north, but not here in Sandy Bay. Yeah, well, but so that could be my next goal. Get to that dark blue triangle, which would be a well. Yeah, good plan. Oh, so there is a heli crashing somewhere. I think that must have been somewhere over there from the sound. So the time on the server, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's fine. Oh no. Please. What does this mean? Maybe I should try to get away from here. This is an air raid. Yeah, that might mean that we might soon get into trouble if they are bombing us with gas. But if they were, I wouldn't have much options anyway. If they were bombing us with gas, I wouldn't have much options anyway, so just try to get a bit away from this inhabited area. But no any sounds of mortar attack at the moment. A guy. Let's just get away a bit. Maybe we are lucky and that air raid alarm was not for our area here. At the moment it looks like that. But let's bring some distance between us and these buildings for now. Now we are going east. Finally, I would prefer to turn north again. Wow, that really scared me. I actually got into an air raid once. And yeah, you just terribly die when you don't have an antidote, which you usually don't have, and you don't have this overall, overgarment protection suit and gas mask. You get sick, you start to cough, you start to spit blood. So it's implemented really realistically. It really feels bad when you get gassed. You constantly lose health, you spit blood, making you lose even more health. An old parka, and I do have not an old one, but a parka, so nice. Our one is better. What's this? Tape. Nice. So we have to check. I think it's different on different servers what you could actually do with tape, but what I really urgently need is to do some repair on my shoes. But usually you can't use tape on your shoes. No, you also cannot do it here. And yeah, they are not badly damaged, but still only damaged. But what else? The vest. Maybe I should be able to repair the vest. Also the vest I can't repair with the tape. That's a pity. What's that sound? Yeah, this air raid alarm, that sounds so eerie, so frightening. It really scares the shit out of me when I hear it. Yeah, let's get to these buildings and check. Yeah, so if there were a few guys new in the stream, I am playing on the Zero Derail map. And yeah, this is actually the third stream that I do. Hey, come on, there are a bit too many of these guys. What is this one doing? Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nah. That is really risky. Although I still would like to do a little bit of looting. Would just be too nice to find some Zuin kit and some leather Zuin kit or some glue for the vest. Could I put it there? No. Okay, zombie. Can I avoid it? I think I can. Or did he recognize me? Can't tell. Looks like he didn't. Denim jacket, that was the first jacket that I had. Fire station, I'm not gonna check the fire station. Usually you In the past, years and years ago, the fire station was the place to find good loot. A helmet, firefighter helmet, and a firefighter axe, which was back then the best melee weapon. But yeah, actually the fire station was one of the very early buildings that were accessible, while all the others back then, all the other buildings were not accessible. So that was where all these guys were on the meadows. So might be that there is plenty of evil Knievers around. Don't want to get involved with these, so let's just get over there and check these. Yeah, also these buildings, they are usually pretty empty. But let's see what we get around here. Sometimes you find something here, but often not. There is something. Some rounds. Oh, nice. That's damaged. What if I combine them? Alright. These are pretty powerful rounds, actually. Yeah, I'm fine with my pants. Yeah, that bit too shock head. No. There's nothing up here. There's nothing. There are some shoes. Maybe I would like to keep them as backup in case of, that my shoes actually fail. Working gloves. Best insulation, yeah, let's stick to these. And they are still in good condition, being only worn. Oh, nice. There is, okay. This seems to be some kind of a standard equipment in these. A map. What about my map? It's pristine. Compass is pristine. What about mine? It's pristine as well. And the Zagorski bar. Let's get it. Yeah, no, let's have the Zagorski bar. We are not really progressing. We are not getting our drink and food bar to full. Yeah, now that we're back here, let's check these. Oh, nice. Some dried fruit. There is something. It's a knife. Well, let's pick it up for now. Sneakers. Nothing else in there. Oh, okay. Working boots damaged. That's exactly what I have anyway. I think here I once ran into pigs, and the noise of the pigs pretty scared me. But then I didn't have any means to kill it. Right now it would be fine. I could shoot some deer or pigs, maybe. The guns that I have, particularly I do have the hunting gun, and headshotting a deer with the hunting gun should bring it down right away. What do we have there? Plate jacket, high insulation. Yeah, I'm fine with what I have. But let's briefly settle down and check our stuff. So if I do have that knife, I think I can drop this one. The knife is a nice cutting tool. stick. Ah, come on. Blood collection kit. I could fill it actually with my own blood. But as long as I don't have any means to deliver it back, don't need it. Or maybe it's better to separate the risk. Have the dried pear. So that I found it might be an indication that a player must have been around not too long ago. Hey, the dried pear even gives me a bit of hydration. Okay, that's kind of particular. Well, you don't have that on vanilla. Let's give the map another check. If I go further north, I could get to this. Yeah, the dark blue triangle indicating a well. Okay, so I am now in the north of that settlement. Let's get moving. Well, do I have that building on the map? Yeah, come on, it kind of makes sense. What's the red triangle? What's possible crash site? Heli crash site. Let's keep north. And zombies again. Zombies and more zombies. So yeah, I'm 100% sure that they very basically changed the zombie spawn mechanisms. Looks like they're not related to the rural areas anymore. Yeah, come on, guy. This one. Let's take out the other one. Where are you? There. Hey guy, you must hear me. They have a pretty good hearing usually. Yeah, come for me, guy. Here you go. Hey, stupid. On north. Wow, so many zombies all over the place. One, two, three, four. Hey, come on. Come completely different zombie spawn mechanisms. Let's see if we can get right in between them without them spotting us. Yeah, looks good. Looks alright. But there still might be zombies spawning in the woods just as well. Hey guys, by the way, nice to have you in the stream. Good evening. So, you're completely anonymous. I just see the number of watchers going up, so don't feel pressed, don't feel pushed by me addressing you, but still, I'm always quite happy if somebody participates in the chat, gives me some feedback on how you like the game, how deep you are in the game actually, what your experience is, where you're from. But yeah, don't feel pushed, it's perfectly fine if you just watch and lurk. Always nice to have a few people in the stream. So somewhere around here there should be another well. By the way, now our apple is filled. Look at the status with regard to nourishment, and it is full. Any hint? So the well would be more further to the northwest of this settlement. Okay, zombie. There he comes. One, two. There is a cow somewhere. So I could try to kill the cow and slaughter it and get the meat. And yeah, I actually do have a bit of inventory space left to do that. Just nothing around here. Let's go for... In the past it was like you could even rummage through the dustbins. Okay, a gun. Another one. Also damaged. 45. Without a mag. I don't have a single round for that one, so I think it's pretty clear that I'm gonna drop that one and not picking it up. So let's keep an eye open where there might be. Oh, I love the revolver. And I do have the proper rounds for it. Working gloves. And the trousers. It's damaged, okay, but do I have 7, 3, 5, 7 rounds? Get the doors closed for now. Okay, spin cylinder, yeah. So you could do the Russian roulette with that. I'm still not sure if the Russian roulette concept, if it's vanilla or if it's only a mod. So, any guy of you in the stream, do you know? Is the Russian roulette that you have here, is it vanilla meanwhile? Yeah, the revolver is really a great gun. And it has enormous firepower, I think. Even the more, it would be great if I found a weapon repair kit. Can't get up there. Where is the cow? Any eyes on the well? Not right now, so let's first check this building over there. Don't know what's better. Maybe the automatic gun is better, although 305 has pretty low man-stopping power. Hey, weight loss. Great to have you in. Good evening. I'm Lago Maggiore. Oh man. What song is this? Sounds like Toto Cotugno or something. I know. I think Toto Cotugno, he was a real Italian, wasn't he? He was actually singing Italian back then. I don't know. So please, I have no idea what these kinds of... The mechanics top. Pristine. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the Flanders shirt actually takes more inventory slots. So it's easy decision to keep it. And the baseball shirt. Yeah, good evening. How are you doing? How was your evening? Are you still with your parents, actually? Yesterday you said that you were paying them a visit. So I guess when you took the effort, you're probably still there over the 2 days, right? Getting there on Friday, going back on Saturday, on Sunday, I mean. Cowboy hat. Well, and here we do have a cooking pot. A cold magazine. Are there rounds in? Yeah, just two. So wouldn't have been worthwhile to keep that. But the pot actually is quite comfortable in the way that I could put water in it. I do it like that. Yeah. And eating the stuff that I have with me. The pear, I found one dried pear and one fresh pear. So on this server also the dried stuff gives you a little bit of hydration. So we are out just on the edge of switching between full and almost full apple. And from the map I know that there is a well somewhere around. So let me be AFK for just one more minute. And fingers crossed that we don't run into trouble. Be back in 60 seconds. Alright, we are still alive. So, in a multiplayer game, just going off AFK is a bit of a risk. Oh, what a beautiful song. Who is that? Who is singing that? I hear something out there. Is it a player? It sounds like zombies aggroing. Of course, we know that they also aggro randomly, but it might also be an indication that there is a guy around. And there is still plenty of people on the server. Let's listen briefly. All right, just out there. Okay, I got a hit because there was a bit of a lag. Got hit twice, that's not good, so this will probably have damaged my gear. Damaged, pristine. Okay, so it seems to have done not too much damage. We get a bit of a lag. Okay. Might be. Is it server wise? Maybe it is. It usually is server wise. So I think it is pretty hard to find the well around here. There's a zombie. Yeah, let's go for the zombie and kill it in a controlled way. Yeah, calm, guy. And eat. 1, 2. So no lag this time. I really need to find the well. Ah, great, there it is. Here we are. So let's do the drinking. We don't have a container to fill the... Oh, well, we do have the pot. We do have the water pot. Nice. We can fill the water pot with water. Well, that was always a bit unrealistic, to fill the pot of water with water. The pot with water and put it into the backpack and assume that it wouldn't spill the water. That's weird. I think the game mechanism still works. So fingers crossed that we don't get set up here by any evil Knievel. And drink until Our stomach is full. Yeah, it's getting lunchtime or afternoon, probably on the map, so we are blue in terms of temperature. We are too warm by now, so we would have to fill the pot. Get in here, and now I should be able to put charcoal taps. Yeah, purify the water in the pot. Very good. So from now on, I do have some resources of water to drink. Although I have also stored my shoes in the pot. Yeah, still. I don't know. They didn't change anything about that all the years, but this feels a bit unrealistic to have the water in the pot. Hey, Chainsaw, nice to have you in. Good evening. How are you doing? What do you mean? In game? Somebody taking a leak or out of game? So I'm just having a glass of wine in real life. And in game, I just filled that pot with water. Good evening. Okay, all right. So you have to work on Saturdays. Yeah. Yep, that sounded like somebody's leaking. Yeah, so looks like you are just at the end of your shift then, or end of your time at work. So how long would it be when you get home? For me, actually, when I stop working, I still have to have a almost 1 hour drive back home after work. That's, well, on the one hand, that's not too comfortable, but I don't care about it anymore since there is Spotify. So let's take the hat off and let's see if this is sufficient to cool ourselves down. Yeah, 30 minutes drive home. That's fine. That's fine, 30 minutes. I mean, for me, it's 50 minutes if everything is fine. If I get to work pretty early, it is 50 minutes. But if I get into the rush hour, it might well be more than 1 hour. Yeah, that's all right. A 30 minutes drive, that's perfectly fine, I think, yeah. And even for me, I'm pretty all right with something like 50 minutes or a bit more, depending on the traffic. Yeah, in the past, I really had the feeling that driving to work is a waste of time, sitting in the car doing nothing. But, well, meanwhile, you could use the time beautifully, like listening to podcasts or audiobooks on Spotify. Pretty much enjoy that meanwhile. So that was a heli crash somewhere. Yeah, that's the other thing. Listening to the news, yep. So I don't have too much of a problem anymore with driving and spending some time in the car. That's just perfectly fine for me. So there is the hunting store. Let's check it. Yes, audiobooks. And a thermos of coffee, yeah. 25 minutes, yep, alright. I mean, something like 30 or 25 minutes, that's perfectly comfortable. But if it's like me, if it's, well, on average, I am actually going for 1 hour to my work, and 1 hour back from work. But yeah, if you have a few good audiobooks or podcasts, it's still alright. So that's time that otherwise I would never take to read this stuff. And so I am perfectly happy by now with the situation. Okay. But do I really want to add that scarf? I mean, it would make me even warmer. For the night it might be fine, but right now... come on, I have to drop it. It's just getting too warm. So being here, shall we? Yeah, see, we are almost full in terms of drink, hydration. Let's check that. Sometimes you find some nice stuff in these buildings. You never find anything in the toilets, be it here or in the apartment buildings. Never. Yeah, come on, let me find something of use. For example, a sewing kit, a leather sewing kit, or some glue or something, or just some food. Hey, that pretty much reminds me of that starting scene of Blues Brothers. You remember? That Blues Brothers scene? Hey, my brother is getting me from jail with a cop car, cop engine, cop bumpers, cop anything, whatever. So I'm imagining you in such a car, which I find pretty cool. Yeah, I think I never watched the second movie, I have to admit. I think I don't know that one. Maybe I should check it, but my gut feeling would be that this second one wouldn't be as good as the first one. And yeah, we loved the first one. Yeah, that 80s one, exactly. That's the one that I mean. Hey, come on, there is nothing here. Was it? What? Okay, that happens in DayZ, that you do some looting. Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe I should check it out. I think I never checked that second one. I remember it, but for some reason I decided that it might not be that good. But I think I should check it. I love the first one. I mean, within all of my friends back then, there were so many quotes out of that movie which we could just fluently cite. That was really one of our favorite cult movies. So now where did this come from? Somewhere over there. There we see some gas smoke rising. Hey, run, run, Forrest, run. That was pretty close, that gas attack. That was a gas attack. That is gas mortar. So since a while, sorry for being distracted. You have gas mortar being fired on certain areas of the map, and you're pretty much fucked up if you get into such a gas mortar. It's poisonous gas, and if you don't have a full cover with an overgarment suit and a gas mask, you get contaminated and you die. I once had it. I was just looting a police station on Chernorus, and then, yeah, that exact village was gas mortared, and I was having that green gas all around me. Yeah, I got out of it, but I got infected, got an infection, and I was starting to cough blood. Vomit blood, actually, and yeah, dying. No chance to do anything against it. But where is the cow? That would be very nice. Is it somewhere over there? Actually, it's a bit hard to figure out where the sound comes from. But would be nice to get the cow and shoot it in the head. Is it there? Yeah, there it is. Let's first check that building here and then go for the cow. I do have this. Number 6, BK. Hey, come on, no, it's gone. Where? There it is. Let's see. One want to get that cow shot. Let's hope that we can get it with one headshot. I think we should be able to get it. The cows usually are not that shy. And we got it. Okay, work shift is over. Nice. Yeah, but nice that you dropped in. Thanks for joining. I think I might still do this for maybe an hour, half an hour or something. Don't know when you come back home, but yeah, just check. Maybe I'm still online. Now let's skin and quarter the cow. That's good meat. Should be plenty of meat. Probably more than I can carry. One, two, so is there anything that I would like to drop at the moment? This one and that one, maybe. Do I really want to have the Derringer? No, come on. I'll drop that one. Do I need a second road flare? No. Maybe I would like to have some bones. They're in pristine state. Yeah, so let's get some bones. We can well craft fishing hooks out of that later. Let's empty the mag. It's badly damaged. And drop it for now. It's not in pretty good condition, actually. So let's put the battery into the GPS receiver and let it switch off. And we get an another slot for the meat. Let's get up there and do the barbecue. Oh shit. Pristine can opener. Yeah, I have a pristine can opener. Yeah, let's see that we get more of the cow up there. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. 7. Okay, it's getting evening. The sun is drawing close to the horizon in the west. Now let's get some wood. Gather some firewood. stuff. So I do have this piece of paper and some matches. And ignite the fire. There we go. Good to have the matches. So from now on, it's a bit risky that other players might actually spot us. From smoke coming out of the chimney of that hut. Yeah, the gloves got damaged by all that work that I did. Getting the wood. Hey, I need some repair kit. But maybe I could repair the gloves with duct tape. Nah, also not the gloves. Come on. What is the duct tape good for if I can't repair just anything with it? I thought I could do much more with it. Just getting too warm at the moment. It's evening, the day is drawing late. It's hot. Hot. Can't tell how hot. I really need some stuff to repair my gear. A Zwin kit, a leather Zwin kit. I'm pretty well nourished now. At the moment it's alright. So let's get on that stuff. Yeah, any bypasser would see the smoke coming out of the chimney of this hut. But yeah, that's the risk that I have to take. Now I should quickly get away from that fire, indicating me being here. That should attract survivors like flies. Full. And no inventory space left, actually. Let's drop the jacket for now. Back in a minute. Let's just hope that we don't attract any survivors meanwhile. Alright, we're still alive. That's good. No bypasser. Evil Knievel going after us. But now I just have too much meat to carry it away. That's a problem. And I am actually full in terms of food. You see that arrow flipping up and down underneath the apple. I have to go. There's nothing else that I would like to drop. I need all that stuff. Alright, I think I'm gonna go like that, finish it, and I have to leave 2 pieces of meat. And let's not forget the jacket, and there we go. But yeah, let's check the map. Let's go north. Let's just go north. Now we are really going to the wilderness exploring. Okay, sunset is there. So we are going. Come on. So north is this way. Yes, I was pretty right about that. By the way, let's do this little cheating and check. Just curious what time we have on server. It's still roughly 30 people on the server, which is quite a lot, and 5:15. So still quite some risk to run into guys. Okay, there we have the gas attack. That's some. I think this is a military area. Was gas attacked, and we were not too far away from that. So there is water in the canteen. And so that's great. So this is a decent way to store water. I don't need a smoke grenade. And at the moment I don't need the C-Mag. MP1. Hey, come on, it would be so important to find a weapon repair kit. Let's see, how far do we have to follow that fjord back until we can actually turn north? There is a bridge, yeah. Yeah, alright. That's where we have to go. Getting evening. I'm pretty curious how the nightfall would feel like on that map. I might have mentioned before that I definitely don't like to play DayZ at night, and I particularly not like to stream DayZ at night. And yeah, the main reason actually is that I hate watching night streams on DayZ. Just don't like it. Just find it kind of tiring, and so this is why I by myself just don't like to stream at night. And yeah, it's just too risky. You run around and you never know what is around you, and you might suddenly be surrounded by a few zombies. Matches pristine, nice. Okay, alright, let's add them to the matches that we already have. I love the exploration feeling of the map. And there is a police station. There is a lone police station here. Let's check it. Okay, I hear a zombie. Can't say where it does come from. There was definitely an aggroing zombie. Thought it was aggroing on me, actually. There it is. Yeah, come on for me, guy. Yeah. So eat. Ah, fuck. There was this lag again. Some food, something to eat. I don't have any space left for that. Okay, here we are. This is a car. $25 rounds. That was definitely players around. Nice having that large mag. That was a good find, so let's leave this mag behind. That's just fine. Okay, more Mosin ammo. Police pants, don't need them. Only thing that I would like to have would be maybe an anti-step vest. Gloves. Combat gloves, but I don't have any means to repair them. Might well be that they are dropped here by another player. South, this is west. Yeah, that submachine gun is pretty badass. North. And then west. Good evening, guys. Nice to have you in the stream. Hey, no worries. You're perfectly anonymous. And yeah, just watch silently if you'd like to. But yeah, let me just remark that, of course, I'm always glad to get some feedback on the chat. Always curious on where you're from, what your experience with the game is, how you like the stream. So yeah, don't feel pushed into anything, just lurk and watch if you like to. That makes me perfectly happy just as well. But yeah, getting some comments into the stream or maybe even a follow, of course, makes a decent streamer even more happy. arms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, night is falling. I think I have been running in circles by now. Had been here before, pretty sure. But that's quite some change in the game principles that you run into zombies just all over the place. Alright, see, this is exactly where I stopped before. Pretty amazing. Okay, so I was running in circles. That's a bit weird. That's a bit weird. That looks a bit different too. Ah, yes. Wanted to cross that bridge and I didn't. Yep, okay. Of course, I didn't cross the bridge. So that's clear. Yep. I was definitely running in circles. Hey guys, just see the number of watchers going up. Nice to have you in. Good evening. Pleasure to have you in. So yeah, don't feel alarmed. You're perfectly anonymous. I just see the number of watchers going up. So perfectly fine if you just watch. It's a pleasure to me to see that there are a few guys. Oh shit, what is this? Oh, come on. Two guys passing by on quads. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, you see there is still plenty of people on the server. Even two quads. How could these guys just be passing by like that? Amazing. My boots are badly damaged by now. Just surprised that I didn't hear anything. That might have been a bug. Or what would it have been? Electro? Quads? Probably not. So pretty lucky that I wasn't something like 3 minutes earlier. If I was in the middle of the bridge when they were passing by, I would have been quite in trouble. Some rounds, would I like to get? I think I have a bit of inventory space left, do I? No, I haven't. So no 45. I have to drop stuff. I'm just too heavily loaded at the moment. So much stuff. Why am I so heavily loaded? Yeah, actually I'm carrying a lot of guns. That's the point. What do I have in here? The running shoes. Just in case. Handgun scope. Nah, I'm not gonna need a handgun scope. Hey, the chlorine tablets are so valuable, I wouldn't drop them. But what about the mini sights? Hey, look at my gear. I need some Zoin kits. Yeah, let's see that we get the water into the canteen. And drank the water. Then I would love to drop the pot. potato. A zucchini, it's rotten. And some 308 rounds. It would be nice if I once would find a sniper rifle 308. On we go. Let's see. Yeah, we passed. Oh, that fjord, and now we can turn west again. And there were these guys, 2 quads, heading this way. Okay, let's stick to the side of the road. I might run into these guys. Okay, it's getting pretty late around here, so I'm really sorry. There are still a few people watching the stream, but I have to go to bed. I really have to turn in. It's something like, yeah, past 3 o'clock around here, and yeah, I have to call it a day. So thank you very much, guys. It was a pleasure to have you in the stream, and yeah, tomorrow night I'm not gonna stream. I have to get up early on Monday, but let's see. Maybe on Monday or Tuesday night I'm gonna continue this one. So thank you very much. Let me take a look whether it's worthwhile to rate somebody. I don't know, shall we? Ah, come on. No raid tonight. Let's just quit it. Let's just call it a day. Thanks a lot for being in, and good night. See you guys.